Right, in the previous video clip we looked at the cash receipts journal, and I hope you've practiced some and you're quite happy with how to draw up the cash receipts journal. So let's, in this activity now, look at the cash payments journal. And as the name says, whenever a business pays money, they will enter it into the cash payments journal. Now, if we look at the columns quickly of the cash payments, we'll still have our document number, and to a large extent these will be checks, because at this stage we're still working with the assumption that the business is paying with a check, but it could be EFTs. Again, the day, and then the details, just like in the cash receipts journal. Who are you paying this to? Now, all that money is going to come out of the bank, because remember, when you pay with a check or you do a EFT, electronic funds transfer, you're telling your bank to take the money out of your account and to pay to somebody else. So all of the money will go into the bank. And then we will open up columns for those amounts that we actually use a lot. And if we don't have a special column, we use the sundry, the same as before. So looking at this thing on the transactions, on the first we bought consumable stores for 450 from Macro and paid by check number 122. So your check 122, always there in case you have to check back for something. It's on the first. Who are you doing? You're paying to Macro. You paid 450 Rand on that check, so the bank will take 450 out of your bank account. And because it's for consumable stores and you have a consumable stores column, you'll use that column. So always double entry. If you have a special column, then you just put enter into the appropriate column. On the third, we filled the delivery vehicle with petrol at Engine for 620, and we paid with a debit card. Now, a debit card takes money out of your account. It's just using an internet system, but still the money coming out of your bank account. So it's just using a debit card. No longer will it be a check. So the date is the 3rd. You're paying Engine for 620, and the debit card, the money will come out of your actual bank account and into the petrol column, because that's what you're paying. Right. On the 4th, you bought the following from Baxter stores and paid by check. So it's the next check in order, but this time now we've got consumable stores and we've got stationery. Now, some businesses will combine these two together, but they specifically told you the business operates a separate stationery account from consumable stores. Now, a little bit more involved. So the next check is check 123, because it follows from the previous one. On the 4th, and who are you paying? Baxter stores. Now, this time you're buying consumable stores for 315, and you're buying stationery. Now, we don't have a stationery column, and they told you they want it separately. So stationery will be 185, and that's, as soon as you use the sundry, you have to fill in the details so that you know what it's for. Now, there's only one check, and that check has been written for both of these. So into your bank goes the total. Right. The total amount of the one check. So one check split into two separate amounts. Now, I know that looks like we're not doing double entries, but we are. 500 is equal to these two are added together. Right. On the 7th, you paid wages. On the 10th, you're filling the vehicle again with, and you're using your debit card again to pay for petrol. So I want you to do those on your own now. So when you cashed paid the wages, obviously it's an EFT, so it's going to be cash over here, because that's what you're doing. You're paying cash, and it goes out of the wages. And then the Engine, the same thing for the petrol. Now, on the 13th, you paid the following by electronic transfers. Now, you're paying eThekwini, you're paying Telkom, and you're paying Vodacom. Those are 3 different businesses. So each one has been paid separately. So we need 3 separate entries for the 13th. So can you do that on your own now? So each one is an EFT. The name of the person, they're all on the 13th, so you don't have to repeat the 13th, the name of the people, the individual amounts, and what are they for. Now, if you look at the Vodacom, it actually said it was for the owner's private cell phone. Now, we've already done this. Anything private for the owner has to go to drawings, the business entity rule. Keep the owner and the business separate. Right. Now, I would like you to carry on with the rest of these entries. Again, if you don't have this exercise in front of you, just freeze the screen and you can go through each of these entries, and then I will go do a quick summary with you of the entries. Right, so let's have a look here. On the 14th, another EFT just for wages, same as we did before. Now, on the 18th, you bought further consumable stores for 530, which is an expense to you because consumable stores get used up. And then you bought a new computer, which is an asset. So that's not a consumable store. So into the sundries, and you can call it either computer or equipment. And just take note, one amount there, two macro for the full amount. Then on the 20th, there was again some more petrol. So that's the same as what we've done already. And then we've got another wages, but this time they got extra wages because they'd worked overtime, but the same principle. On the 25th, you bought a printer and you bought cartridges. Now, again, just like the previous one, the cartridges get used up. That's consumable stores. The printer is an asset. So that will go into sundries and the full amount into your bank column. You paid wages. You then paid some more petrol. And lastly, you're paying off your loan. So it's a EFT and you're paying off the loan, so into the sundry. You'll probably find it a lot easier than the cash receipts journal. And then finally again, you need to add up all the columns and to double check yourself. These columns here, all of these, if you add these columns across the bottom, you add these amounts, that must equal that. So you can serve a double check on yourself, because going down it equals 33,425 and going across it also equals 33,425. Right, again you need to practice this cash payments journal, and then we're going to bring these two journals together, the receipts and payments. We're going to do a task with the receipts and payments, and we're going to post that to the ledger then.